The character is actually, it's everything that I've always tried not to be. It's everything my mom wanted me to be, obviously. Funny enough, that's who I am. So Kevin Tran is an advanced placement. I guess in high school for me it would have been International Baccalaureate. So actually everyone kind of thought that, I had this image of being, this really good student, but I was a really mediocre student. I was I was class president. I was really active. I did all these extracurricular activities. I was joining all these clubs, helping out with everything, but I hated studying. Right? So, I was like C, B student at best. But everyone thought I was going to go to Harvard or something. I'm like, no way. I'm going to disappoint everybody. But it was, I don't know. So I definitely had that kind of a lifestyle where I was a good student. I really loved going to class. I never skipped. Teachers loved me. And it was one of those weird things. People had all these expectations of me, but I was ready to disappoint them. And I know this character is just, it reminded me of, I guess, that part of me. But, I'm actually getting good grades. But I don't know, it's a really fun character to play. The fans, their reactions have been crazy. I mean, just seeing, those little GIF video, those GIF files? It's just, random clips. There's so many of them. My friends have been sending me them, and they're pretty funny. I think my favorite it was the first day. I mean, the first day was the running scene in the first episode. So it was part of reading is fundamental, and it was a zigzagging thing where we had Jared chasing me. I was clutching the bag with the stone inside, and it was just fun. No one expected me to be running that fast. I mean, he's 6'5". He's got really long legs. And they were kind of like, okay, just hold back. And I used to sprint, so it was just like zoom. I'm like, okay, we couldn't capture that, so let's slow it down. And plus, I had all this adrenaline going. I was like, okay, first day, don't screw up. And that was a lot of fun. One, I love, I'm a very physical actor, so anytime I get to do anything physical, I really get into it. We had this really nice setup where they had a dead man's wire or something. So they had this harness on me with the rope strapped to my back, and it was they sledgehammered it into a pick in the floor. And so basically, I ran until the slack was gone, and then it just yanked me to the ground. And it hurt after a while, but it was a lot of fun. Just that sensation. Where that was when Meg clotheslines me after the chasing. And not to mention that was when Jared had, he got the call from the hospital that his wife was going into labor. So right after we finished that scene, he's like, it's happening. And, it was just a really happy moment to see, he's going to be a daddy, and he just ran off to the hospital. So it was nice.
Were you a fan of Supernatural before being on the show?
No, but all my roommates were. I didn't even know what the show was, which was really funny. I lived in a house full of Supernatural fans, and I didn't even realize it. I got on the show, didn't really tell them because it didn't really mean anything to me. Mm-hmm. We watched the show together. I'm like, hey, I'm on the show, it's airing today. And shortly after that, I started realizing that there were posters of Jared and Jensen and Misha on the walls that I never saw. I'm like, what? And they kind of gave me the whole rundown on the fandom and all the cons and stuff. So it was kind of cool to be able to be on both sides of the fandom.
What has it been like being a part of the Supernatural family, just overall the fan base?
I mean, there's so much to be said about this fan base and what it means to be a part of this family. I think the biggest thing for me is that I grew up idolizing, superheroes, like Dragon Ball, Power Rangers, and all that stuff. And being part of the Supernatural family and in the position that I'm in, taught me that I
I don't have to have superpowers to be a superhero. You know, when you have any type of power, whether it's, you know, super strength or, you know, in my case, being able to just like listen to someone, acknowledge their existence, and it, you know, it just brightens up their day somehow. That's a power, you know, and it's so cool to be able to reach out and give back to this community that has given me so much, and just change the world in that way. It's wonderful to be able to be your authentic self in a place where people celebrate it, you know, they don't judge you, and they draw strength from it to do it themselves. It's so empowering, and it's so special to be with.
So the thing is, I guess supernatural convention related. This year, 2013, was my first year doing the supernatural conventions, and you know, it was a blast. And for whatever reason, I ended up being known as the guy that cosplays at all these events, which is totally cool. I would love to cosplay at every single one of the conventions next year, and I would love to do a different outfit every time just because it's fun. But I don't have enough time, so this is a call out to all of the Supernatural family cosplayers out there. This is a call out to you guys. I would love to commission one person per convention that I go to help me put together a costume. I'd love to hear all your ideas in terms of what I could dress up as. And the most important is secrecy, right? Whoever I end up commissioning for the costumes will seriously have to like swear or make a vow of secrecy, okay? Like, I love surprises, I love surprising people, and so I'm gonna take this pretty seriously. Like, you can't not tell anybody, you know, friends, your family, your loved ones. I mean, I know a lot of you are already thinking, well, my best friend's gonna find out at some point. You know, I'm probably gonna tell my best friend, at least, or my sister, or something. Well, let me tell you that, no, you can't, you shouldn't. I know you're probably gonna need their help, but keep that a secret. You cannot let anybody know that, you know, you're even working on the project. So if you need their help, ask them for very specific things, like, can you help me glue this pen and this book together? Awesome, you can do that, but don't tell them what it's for. So that's going to be really tough, especially for the people who I might end up choosing, who are like doing road trips with like 5 other people to these cons. You actually have to still keep it a secret from them. This will be a challenge. So that'll probably be the hardest thing. I'll return the costume to you. You can do whatever you want with it. If you ask me for suggestions, I would suggest that you auction it off for a charity of your choice. Do some good in the world. Yeah. I guess I'll see you at the next convention.
You know, I didn't really watch that much sci-fi stuff before, so I was just, you know, introducing myself like, hey, my name is Osric, what's your name? And Mark does this. He's standing beside his chair and his name is on it. He just gives me like this really dirty look and points at his chair. I'm like, oh, Mark. I'm like, well, very nice to meet you. And I just kind of went off. And so I thought he hated me, because we didn't really say much after that. You know, we did our scene, and that was that. And then at San Diego Comic-Con, which is like 10, 20 times bigger than this, there's this one intersection between the convention and all the hotels where there were literally thousands of people crossing all the time. And I was on my own, and I was just gonna cross the street into downtown to grab some food. And I had just shaved off my head for Halo, and so from season 7, Kevin, where I had really long hair, I was next to bald, and you know, the episodes just came out, so no one really knew who I was. And so during Comic-Con that year, I had 4 people recognize me. Aww. And Mark Shepard was one of them. So I was crossing the street, and in the crowd of thousands of people, I get this hand on my shoulder, and it's Mark, and he says, Osric, this just proves you don't all look alike. He's got a knack for one-liners. and he was with Misha and Jim. They were heading back somewhere, I don't know. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I was gonna find some food." He's like, "No, you aren't. Just follow me." And so I followed Mark, and he took me on this weird adventure backstage, you know. And I was like hanging out with all the celebrities and guests there, and I just felt so out of place. People were like giving me things, and I didn't want to touch it, or you know, I felt like I was stealing. It was such a strange feeling, but after that, I don't know. I had a soft spot for Mark after that. And that's why I love Mark so much. And a lot of random things too.
Oh my God, you actually are the random X-Berry. That's amazing. You're super blue and green. That's amazing. Wow. And what I'm talking about is your abs, obviously. Really great work. If you'll notice this angle, just turn a little bit to the side. The shadow play is excellent right there. Look at that. Nice. Wow. Very impressive. You're like a giant logo. Holy shit. That sheds. A greasy logo that leaves a trail everywhere it goes.
Your jacket. Oh my God. I'm so sorry about your jacket.
No, it's okay. It's okay. This is good. It's like yeah, right, exactly. You wipe it off. Genius. Let me get that. Well, how are you? I've got to balance it out. You're shedding.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just a person underneath that. Now I see what's happening. Very good to see you.
This is so weird, because usually I put my arm around Jared and my hand is directly on his ass. Not by choice, but just by height advantage. It's nice.
I'd ask why, but I don't want to know. I just don't. Did you make this, or did they actually sell this? You saw it at Hot Topic yesterday. I was on a demonstration. Castile? Austria.
In all this time wearing a dress, I realized I never actually showed you, so I thought I'd... Like, hey guys, it's not that bad.
It's not bad.
It just looks bad in pictures.
No, it's not in person also. So you're taking pictures of this? I have a question for you. When you walked out of your hotel room this morning, was there a mirror that you passed? Clearly you passed it.
I passed one mirror.
Clearly you walked right past it and didn't stop.
I passed one mirror, and I'm like, oh, that kind of looks weird, but then every time I walk through the hall, everyone was telling me, oh, you look great, and so...
Never mind. Correction. Not every time you walk past somebody at the mall, every time you walk past somebody here at the convention, you're like, you look great. What is he doing? Give me that outfit. What is he doing?
What was your step? Alright, I gotta play the captions on the stage.
Alright, done. Ladies and gentlemen. Something just happened right here. Osric Chau, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna have to take a solo shower now.
this incredible special effects we have. You're remarkably dense. I wasn't expecting it to be. No. Good to see you. How have you been? So you show up in Gishwiz, the scavenger hunt. I'm not kidding. I'm going through submissions. And by the way, you know, when you're on like number 25,000 or something, no matter what a great image it is, it's like, oh, God. You know, another skywriting, blah, blah, blah. Somebody else jumping out of a plane. The item was, don't tell me what item it was. I'm in the middle of trying to remember something. Flipping through, and the item was not the shrine. It was heroic crosswalking. And I'm flipping through, and it was people dressed as cats doing crosswalking stuff, which I've seen a bunch of these photos or videos, and I thought, the fuck? The fuck did I see? This guy. Well done. Yeah, I saw several images of you. That was that one. There was the shrine, and the you on the kids ride thing. Yeah, that was creepy. But also, I've seen images of you on the internet. You're Princess something other. Princess Bubble Butt. I have to say, when I saw that, the minute I saw that, I was like, fuck yeah. And like I already had a very high estimation of you, but it went up when I saw that. And I've just heard descriptions of your karaoke wardrobe. I haven't seen it yet, but it sounds like something I want to spend some private time with. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. Pajamas. Yep.
Good morning, Gil.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh boy. Why, it's the other guy. Is he under the stage?
Gil, I got a surprise for you, and I had to do this. Okay, hold on, not yet. So, this is probably the most embarrassed I've been in years.
That's saying something.
And this is just for you, Gil. Can you take a guess at what I'm wearing right now?
No, I can't.
You want to take a guess?
That's a slippery slope, Osric.
Yeah.
So it'd be something that you might know or be familiar with, I think.
All right, I'll give you a hint. Loud and Swin, you guys ready?
Ready.
Under the sea.
Are you really Ariel?
What do you think, guys?
I think
it's amazing.
Honestly, the only thing that bums me out is now I've got 24 hours to listen to Rob talk about how Osric is. Honestly, your boobs have never looked so good.
I almost pissed my rock backstage. Wait. Hold on, I got one more surprise. 1 sec.
Whoa, what's under there?
Can you put this on? I gotta sash you too. I don't know if it fits, so you're gonna have to you might have to squeeze that on. Or maybe just drape it over.
I think you're making some joke when you said I almost peed my rock.
I thought it was an analogy, but it was actually like that.
What you peed on.
You know what? I absolutely love that you guys can just play anything. I mentioned to them, I'm like, hey, guys, I'm doing a Little Mermaid thing. And right away, they just started busting out under the sea. It was great.
Right? Unbelievable talent, these guys. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Seriously right now.
It was awesome. I'm like, do that thing you just did. That was great. Thank you.
You're a mermaid.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, listen. This is a serious piece of advice. Do not let Sebastian see you in that outfit. And I mean that. This is
He's
not
not
a
here
joke.
yet, right?
He's not going to know that you're not a mermaid.
He's not going to get it.
He doesn't understand our American ways.
He's not going to understand it after the fact. He's not going to understand it.
It's a little small. That's weird.
We got Prince Eric. That's so good.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Fantastic.
It's a little snug.
I was going to say, Prince Eric is wearing an unforgiving...
You've been working out, though, right? Like, I mean,
A little bit.
I think it was
Now you're
fitting
hitting
to
on
you.
Gil.
Yeah, that's what it
Hey, Gil,
is.
can
That's
you
what it is. I'm getting
clue in
too
members
big.
of the audience that may not know that you played...
Oh, I played
Yes.
Prince Eric on a handful of episodes on Once Upon a Time.
Oh, yeah, Once Upon a Time, Prince Eric.
I'm sorry if you didn't know that. That's what this is all about.
Yeah. And this is actually not a real mermaid. It's a...
No, it's not. And
But today it is.
Osric did not play Ariel on Once Upon a Time. Though he was up for it. He got really close.
Spoiler alert.
He got really close.
Yeah. Wait, is Ariel already on there?
Yeah.
All right, never mind. There you go. There goes my
I
campaign.
mean, maybe they'll recast when they see this.
Under the sea,
Thank you, guys.
darling, it's better. Darling, it's better. Take it from me. Under the sea, darling, it's better. Darling, it's better. Take it from me.
Unbelievable. Surprising even me.
All right.
Even... Bye! Up where they walk, up where they ride, up where they play all day in the sun.
When they Google Osric Chau cosplay,
He comes up as a mermaid.
Probably, actually.
No, that's not what you're gonna say?
because I just saw some gender band cosplay. Is that a fetish thing?
Is that a fetish thing? I guess it is now. Yeah.
You said it was, right?
I mean, I think the better question is something not a fetish thing? Is there anything that's not a fetish thing?
So yes, it is. He's going beating around the bush. It is a fetish thing. He has a fetish for dressing up as women.
Let's say I'm in my 20s and I'm pursuing a career and I'm just really ambitious. I would live with Jensen because I feel like we would work a lot together. If I was teenager, early 20s, and just want to do stupid things, I would pick Jared because we get along and we'll play a lot of games together and waste all the time. And if I was retired, I was retired, but I wasn't ready to step into the grave yet. I'd bring Misha along because I feel like he would, we'd do things even though I didn't really want to. And at the end of the day, it'll be fun, and I'll be like, okay,
Good answer. Thank you.
In the Rome green room, Jared Padalecki thought it would be fun to wrestle. No one else agreed. Because no one wants to wrestle Jared Padalecki. And he was like, come on, man, let's, because, he's like a a Labrador puppy. And he's like, go ahead, go ahead. With these giant claws. Like,
Osric was reading.
You saw this exchange?
Yeah, there were like two other people in the room. Osric was reading. I pretended not to be there and huddled in the fetal position in the corner. And Osric was like, yeah, sure, I'll let you. Puts his book down.
Yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I thought he was, I kind of thought he was joking, I wasn't sure. And then, Jared comes in with this big smile. He's like, like that big teddy bear thing that he does. I'm like, oh, yeah, we're gonna like go to somewhere with more room, right? Because there's like the couch and like a big marble table there. I'm
Safety
like,
first. That's
right?
what you were thinking.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, this isn't even a flat surface. But he comes at you.
Not even kinda. Like there's a couch and a coffee table a half a foot away with bottles and glasses and plates and things. Like, this is not the #1 place to wrestle.
Definitely wasn't, but once Jared starts coming at you, you really don't have a choice. Because he's a really big guy.
Hey, you wanna wrestle?
Sure.
Hey, look there. You wanna wrestle down there?
Yeah, I'll wrestle.
All right.
So, I mean, Jared's strong. Don't get me wrong. He's coming at me and he kind of gets me in like this front choke and he's trying to choke me. I'm like, oh, this got really fast. So he comes at me and so the first thing I do, like, okay, gotta breathe. And slowly he's giving me room, so I'm just kind of playing. I flip him around onto the couch. Now I'm on top of him. Before you know it, I have him in a good, lock, good position. And so I have him in this headlock, and I'm like, okay, he's probably gonna flip me over with one arm because he's strong enough to do that. So I, hook in my legs, and I'm like a backpack at this point. And I'm holding
One
him.
smaller. One of those little backpacks that girls wear. Those little ones? I mean, it's because it's Jared, right? I'm not saying anything about you. Like,
yeah.
You look like a little Hello Kitty doll in the back.
And so at this point, Ty walks over and he's like telling Jared, he's like, okay, you should do this, He's just kind of walking Jared through, so I'm just waiting. I'm like, okay, I'm like, all right, now it's becoming like a instructional jiu-jitsu thing. But Jared's also very competitive. So,
yes.
And this it scared me just for a second.
See it in his eyes, that moment of like, oh shit, I'm not gonna get caught in this like a little guy.
I could not see it in his eyes, but I'm like, okay, if it was any other person, I'd just like choke up a little bit, and usually they tap. Not Jared. So I'm waiting, and then I see he starts to stand up. I'm like, oh God. So I'm like, all right, let's finish it. Nope. Right away he starts doing this, and I'm like, way the hell up here. I see my head going down. I'm like, oh, the floor is coming. I mean, it was either the table, the couch, or the floor, but at least he didn't go there, because if he went that way, I would have just let go, and then it would have been really messy. So he basically tries to pile drive me into the floor, and I see the floor coming, and I kind of tuck my head away at the last moment, and then we go down, and then basically I'm lying on top of him after, like, there's like a quick roll. I'm top of him, I'm choking him out, and then I see him tap, and he's like, I think I dislocated my shoulder. And I'm like, yeah.
I can tell if he is joking. I can never tell if he's joking.
Oh, I know.
Until his face kind of started getting really pale, and then he just sat down like this. I'm like,
So we have renamed our friend here to Master Chau. We've all been like walking into the room, we bow when we enter. And the first thing I said, we didn't even realize how much Jared had injured his shoulder. And I was like, having a coffee going, thank God it's not, because I know I'm next. I'm not in the mood for this shit.
Yeah. But what happened was he actually, going to the floor, he actually caught his elbow here, and then popped his shoulder up. Right? So it was like, he was trying to he was trying to rip my arm away from his neck, and then just it didn't pop that much off. It was just a little bit, Just a little bit. Right, so Cliff came over, he's like, oh, yeah, it's up. And he just like pushed it back in. It's like, oh. which wasn't so bad, right?
The good news is, considering the granite coffee table and the glasses and the plates and the forks and all the stuff that was there, it's really probably the least of the injuries that we could have.
Probably.
Because if Jared had actually landed that, this is like concrete under here, folks. This isn't padded. This is like cheap industrial carpet about that thick. And if he had landed that and not slowed down on the couch, we would have been putting you in a
pretty much. I thought my head was going to go on the. Well, I mean, I turned at the last second. It was very close.
But I also want to say, Master Chau, if I may, Master Chau could have let go. He could have let go at that point. He's like, I know I'm going over. You could have. You could have went. I'm going to let go. No. That's when you guys have heard us talk about how this show is filled with alpha males, right? It's a new thing. Like, normally these kind of people butt heads. We just wrestle a little bit. But it's like, under any other circumstances, both of you little alpha males could have went, oh, I'm going to stop this. This has gone far enough. Nope, I'm holding this right down. I'm taking this moose right to the ground.
If you went for the table, I would have let go. But like seeing the floor, I'm like, okay, tuck and roll. Kind of worked out.
Did work out.
But the real pain came after, because after, it was like, and he's like, oh, I feel like I need to stretch it. He was like up in the room. He's like, oh, I just need to stretch it. He popped it out a second time. Because he was just like this and went, and that one hurt way more than the first one. And this time it actually popped all the way out. So Tomo and Cliff were there putting it back in. But I'm saying this now with, lighter, but I felt so guilty the entire time. And all of these guys were just like cheering me.
Poor Jared's had like no sympathy. I mean, we love him, we don't want him hurt, but we're like, yeah! He'll heal. Fine.
So he finally went, and again, sorry for him missing his family yesterday, but yeah, basically they went off to dinner. I'm like, I have to stay with him, so I just sat in the room and me and Cliff watched him sleep for a couple hours watching Italian soap.
Which is kind of creepy. And I know all of you are thinking, I want to watch him sleep too. I know. That would have been funny. He wakes up and there's like 100 girls in there.
And after just in case you needed help, once the pain, whatever thing he took wore off, he was supposed to wake up from the pain. He didn't. He just slept right through it, so it wasn't that bad. And so Cliff's like, yeah, I'll be fine. So Cliff just kind of urged me. It's like, you should go enjoy the dinner. This is your first time in Rome. You really should, have the whole meal. Like, okay, I'll go. And still worried. So actually, Jared, when he finally woke up, he came to the restaurant, and he's like, Osric, I knew you were going to be worried all night if I didn't show up. He's like, I want to go to bed. And I'm like, and I really appreciate that from Jared. So he's a stand-up guy.
Wait a minute. He said, Master Chau. I want to thank you for the lesson you've given me. You are right. Truly, cricket takes down moose. That's the truth of the matter.
Wait, seriously, Jared is such a gentleman, and again, he messes with I think Misha is probably the happiest that this happened. He messes with everyone, but he's got a heart of gold. So it was great. He stayed out with us till walking the streets of Rome at night. That's my story.
It's still there. My wife told me I was 8 years old. So you are 8 years old. And my brother was like, so how big was this dude? I'm like, he's about shoulder high. What? Sorry. Boys will be boys, right? Yeah, shoulder good. I just be gentle with me in that photo op.
Neither one of them are terribly clumsy guys. Jared obviously gets a little clumsy because he gets flustered because he's shy around Osric.
Sorry, Master Chau.
Master Chau. We were just in the green room, and somebody threw a bag of gummy bears across the room, which rarely, stuff like that almost never happens back there. Someone threw a bag of gummy bears, and Jason Mans went.
No, it was going right towards Osric, who was on his phone.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Master Chau.
Master Chau. Master Chau was on his phone, probably texting God, and Jason Mans went like this. And caught it without moving his head or eyes. And what was amazing is that everybody in the room immediately knew that Master Chau
made Jason
had used Jason's chi to move.
Because Jason's like, I didn't do anything.
Jason didn't do anything.
He's like, literally, my hand just went. And then he goes, Master Chau. I believe that Master Chau's reaction was, no thanks.
Does anyone want to wrestle?
Okay. Okay, Jared. Okay. Jared? Hey, you okay?
One shot, one opportunity. Everything you ever wanted. One moment. Did you capture it, or just let it slip? His palms are sweaty, his feet gone for heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking out. Everybody's choking out. The clock's run out. Time's up. Go relax. Step back to reality. He goes gravity. He goes gravity. He's so dead, but he won't give up. Now he's here. He won't broke. He's so sad that he knows the goes back. This goal for home back when he's back to the lab again. Yo, this whole rap city, you better go down this moment, open up. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, not miss your chance to love. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better don't escape it. You just hold on the same thing. This world is mine for the taking. Make me keep as we move toward new world order. I know life is born. The superstar close the close border. It only grows harder. Only grows harder. He grows his own water. Only goes slow. He grows his own brother. Only grows brother. He knows he's born brother. For both his own father. He goes home and then he knows his own daughter. But once he knows him, he knows the cold water. He holds no water no more. He's cold water. He moves on to the next road. Close his nose, knows he's so naughty. So it's so prosperous. Souls and unfocused approach. It's so quiet, but the beat goes on and on and on. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss a chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss a chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better have a change of a change. All right. Take a step back to you. And you know me. I'm the queen in the beginning of the all team. I'll be chewed up and spit out and chewed off things. But I can't rhyme. Step right in the next circle. Let's believe somebody's paying the price. All the pain inside and the byproduct. Fact that I can't divide with mine. Not the divide that I can't provide the right sector. Like for my family, man, he's got him. Stand the bystander. And it's no movie, just no guy fighter. This is my only time. So hard. It's getting even harder. Trying to be the water my feet once. Need to try to run between me and the father and the bring the down. Maybe mama's wrong, screaming on me too much. Need to understand what's right and everything, but now he's got me to the point of like a stand, like I can formulate a plot. Or wake up and jail a shot. That's just my only fucking option. And it's not. Mama loves me with this girl that's got to go. I cannot go home and say I'm lost. Here goes my shot. Be bailed or not. This baby the only opportunity that I got. You gotta lose yourself in the music the moment you want it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better.
I'd like to keep the show going with another very special, unique individual that cannot be replaced. He is Mr. Osric Chau. All right.
This is a fun song. I still hear it in the car sometimes.
I just wanna stay in the sun where I find. I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes. Yeah, I think about the end just way too much. It's fun to fantasize. All my enemies who wouldn't wish who I was. It's fun to fantasize. Oh, I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on the ride. Oh, I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on the ride. 60 minutes, bullets coming through, metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what to do. I've been doing that's hard to do, even harder to say, when you know it's not true, even harder to write, when you know that tonight, when people back home, they're talking to you, then you don't do it. All these questions, they're holding, I'm so good, then go, would you die for it? Would you ever get it? I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on the ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on the ride. You know, sing with me, taking my time on the ride. I've been thinking too much. 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on the ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. Help me.